Hi, guys, and welcome to this review of Zack Snyder's Justice League. And for a lot of people, this film has been something that they've wanted for a very long time. This movie, if you don't know what the history is behind it, it's he had to leave the production because his daughter passed away and Joss Whedon took over. But watching what Joss Whedon included from whatever was shot compared to what was then put together, and how it was color graded and how it was edited together, is completely different. This movie is available to stream as a mini series, but I've watched it as one long 4 hour video, and it's bloody amazing compared to the original Justice League movie. And I can't believe it. Like, a lot of that footage was just shot and shot and shot and shot, and then it was all like tossed to one side by the studio and the director Joss Whedon. I think I heard somewhere on YouTube that he only used about 40 minutes or 40% of what was shot. But Zack Snyder actually finished the movie, it seems like, or most of it, and it was just special effects and whatnot that needed to be put into place. But it's a completely different movie. I don't think I've ever watched a film uh, that has two different versions of it in this way, and I think this is quite an important movie to have in the world at the moment. Well, not just at the moment, but in the world. Where shall I start? So there are certain elements of Whedon's version that are similar to what Zack Snyder's put together, but it's all in a different order, and it works on basically chapters. It's got 6 chapters to the whole thing, and they have some title cards to show you that this is part one, this is part two, this is part six. And I thought that was quite interesting. It felt a bit more serious to me. The actual movie itself is quite serious with some humor in it, and that comes mainly by the way of the Flash or Barry Allen, and it's actually quite good in terms of the humor that it's got, but it doesn't forget that, okay, this is kind of a it's a grounded superhero movie. Well, grounded to the sense of just having characters that are actually in some kind of turmoil. So in that respect, it's been good. Jeremy Irons, I actually enjoyed a scene where he was pretty much teaching Wonder Woman how to make a cup of tea, and I thought that was quite funny. Um, Now, I have watched Joss Whedon's Justice League. I watched it at the cinema, and I can't remember it very well. So I did rewatch it a couple of nights ago, but um, it was a hard watch, to be honest with you. I don't know why, but there was just something that was I couldn't watch it. So then I tried it again the next morning, and I watched it while I was doing other things. And yeah, I recognized quite a few scenes, but then there's other scenes that aren't in the Zack Snyder one. So I think both have their merits to some extent in what they envisaged, and they do their job separately um, quite well. Obviously, the movie is let down by other factors, such as the whole reason that Superman should be this kind of glorified godlike figure is because he's come to Earth and he's been helping, you know, citizens of the Earth and governments of the Earth in getting rid of bad guys, basically. And you don't get that from the Man of Steel movie as such. And you don't get it from Batman versus Superman because it's just there's nothing there, to be honest with you. So it goes from Superman and General Zod fighting, and then uh, in Batman versus Superman, you see Batman running around the city while watching Zod and Superman fight, and yeah, so technically that is in the space of, I don't know, a, even like hours from one movie to the other, you could say, by the way it's being shot, edited together, should I say. And yeah, what is this Superman? Just because he can fly, it doesn't mean that he's, he's some great hope of the world. So coming into the Justice League, I don't think Superman's importance is actually um, is warranted. So this is where the whole logic of the DC universe is falling down, and it fell down right from the first hurdle, to be honest with you. And obviously, they didn't realize what Marvel were doing on their side, or they were slow on the uptake because they had other projects going. But even so, they need to course correct now, not because they need to, not because they want to, but this is where the money's being made now. And superhero movies are kind of tiresome for a lot of people now. There's that sense of what's it called, superhero fatigue. But for like fans like us, or fans like me, should I say, um, really do enjoy superhero movies, even if it's DC. I am and always have been a Marvel comics fan, and watching my favorite characters and even some of my lesser known characters, but I've known them obviously, on the screen. Like when I saw all the Avengers together in that one scene where they start fighting at the end, and they're all and the camera pans goes around them. That's just epic. And I didn't get that with this. I didn't get that with it with the Whedon version, and I didn't get that with the Snyder cut or the Snyder version. So in that respect, the movie has been, in my opinion, uh, has been let down by itself and what's come before it. But having said that, I do have quite a few positives about the film. So I just wanted to get that out of the way first. So I liked how the Joss Whedon one started, with the music and the slow mo montage, but I do also like the way the Snyder Cut version was, how it started. And I think the music in this movie, like the music choices are interesting. Like I wouldn't really class a lot of talky music numbers as my main soundtrack all the way through the movie, but they are there. And when I mean talky, I mean like there's people actually singing words, and it's not instrumental or anything like that. There are instrumental elements to the movie soundtrack, but yeah, I thought it was an interesting choice. It made it feel different. To me anyway, it made it feel very different, and I wasn't too sure about it. But now I come to think of it, I like it. I didn't like the songs, to be honest with you, but I like the idea of how it was put together. Um, right. So the main the main thing that I took away from this was that The Flash, Barry Allen, was even funnier than um, in the Whedon version, and I think he really was the star of the show when it comes to the comic relief. And he did actually give you some good chuckles. I really like that scene where he saves the girl, and then he just takes a hot dog, puts it in his pocket, and then he saves her. It's quite funny because there's a payoff for that later on, and I thought that was good. Seeing all the different characters and get a proper introduction was probably the thing that was lacking the most in the Whedon version. And in this particular Snyder cut, it was really good. I thought at some points that some of these were a bit too long of an introduction, and some of the introductions are kind of jumbled up because there's things happening within the scene where it's trying to introduce the character, the background, as well as what's happening. So I thought that was good. Cyborg got more to do. Barry Allen got a bit more to do. Um, Aquaman had a bit to do. Obviously, Bruce Wayne has a lot to do, and Superman comes in towards the final part of the movie, which okay makes sense with how they did everything. But Wonder Woman was really, really good in this. I I have to admit that she was brilliant. I knew she was good from like her first movie was good. I didn't like the third act of the Wonder Woman movie, and I haven't watched Wonder Woman 1984, but the whole premise and the way people have been talking about how it treats Wonder Woman herself and obviously us as the viewers is just ridiculous. And I don't know if I'm going to watch that one, but for me, Wonder Woman in Justice League is really good. Her fight scene at the in her introduction was really good too. It was a lot more violent than I can remember the Whedon version, and it was um, it was actually good to see her like pretty much taking not like a backseat role, but she was there in the forefront, and that was good. Um, the backseat characters are technically Cyborg and the Flash and Aquaman, really. So the main three are obviously Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman. And let's just talk about Batman for a second because I still think after watching the Whedon version and after watching Batman versus Superman that Ben Affleck is a good old Batman, and I can't wait to see him in more. I hope he stays on, and I hope now that we've established Henry Cavill as Superman again, I think he needs to stay on as well and just complete the arc, and then he can just bugger off and do whatever else he wants. But I actually really enjoyed this movie. There were parts where I was getting a bit bored, and it was just exposition. So I did look away and did a couple other things, but I was watching it solidly for a full 4 hours. Well, the actual movie is 3 hours 30 something minutes, 35 minutes. The rest are credits. Oh my god, the epilogue. Okay, so uh God, shoot. Okay, so there's a sequence, very much like the previous dream sequence that Batman had, and you need to watch that. Honestly, that was just it was just crazy, and so much weirdness has happened um, in this dream, and that's where you see um, the Joker. He's actually in the dream sequence. And if I haven't said this already, but this is a spoiler review. My reviews are always going to be spoiler reviews because I don't know which bits to say and which bits not to say. So, yeah, oh my god, you need to watch it. I'm not going to spoil it too much, but you do need to watch it. And there's a few Easter eggs in this whole movie, actually. But continuing with the epilogue, you've got this a boat, and this boat has a little this yacht, should I say, and this boat is going towards this yacht, and you see a silhouette from the back of this figure on this little boat, and it just straight away looked to me like if it was Deadpool, and I was like, hold on a minute. Obviously, it's not going to be Deadpool, but it's Deadpool's counterpart in the DC universe, which is Deathstroke. So we see Deathstroke when he takes his helmet off. It's bloody Flash Thompson. Who else? And I thought, okay, that's interesting. And oh my god, there's going to be some funky stuff happening if they do get a second movie. If they do get a second movie, Zack Snyder has to come back. Definitely. So yeah, the CGI has been improved slightly for um, what's his name? Steppenwolf is actually a lot better in terms of his face and facial features. Um, but his suit is just annoying. It keeps like breathing and it's like crazy, and I didn't like that. The CGI, there was way too much CGI characters and things going on that didn't need to be going on as much. Um, like the Marvel CGI characters are usually, apart from the train fight scene in Black Panther, um, it's just too much. It's just way too much. And apart from that, it does service the storyline well. So I do like the video quality. It was interesting that it was in 4:3 aspect ratio, and or was it 4:2, or sorry, 5:3 or something like that? I can't remember. It was interesting. It was in that aspect ratio. Um, I liked the tone of the movie. It was good. Music was it was fine. It was interesting and adequate as well. Um, the special effects, like I say, with the CGI characters, it was just a bit too much in my opinion. But the rest of the effects were okay. I was trying to find faults here and there. The only fault that I could find was some color mismatch from one scene of Bruce Wayne. Uh, on his face, he was like the same color tone as every other character that had just spoken. So it was like it was in the same scene and it was shot around the same time. But um, when he turned his head to look the other way, the color was just off, and it just took me out of the movie. And I thought, whoa, okay, must have missed that one. Um, the dialogue was fine. It was interesting. The story is now a lot more uh, complete, should I say? And it was serviceable. Um, I think that what they need to do now is make the Whedon version a Elseworlds version, and somehow marry this version up and then give it a cinematic release. But who's going to go to the cinema for 4 hours to watch one movie? I think I will. I'm going to try and watch it again. So, if you like any of the DC characters, you'll be also happy to see that there is one more character that you probably weren't expecting. And this character, I'm not going to ruin it. You probably know who they are anyway. So if you do like it, try and watch it if you don't have any method of watching something that's in the US, streamed in the US. Get yourself a VPN. I use ExpressVPN, and this sounds like an advert now, but I'm not advertising. I'm not affiliated with them. I just have an account with them, and I just use it for like my own purposes for security and safety. But yeah, you'll be able to watch Zack Snyder's version if you do have it, and if you're not in the US. But apart from that, thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.